from Naruto, and Cornelia from Code Geass, and Zara from Critical Role. Woo! Yay!
Critters here.
I know. Are there a lot of critters here? Critters? Yes!
Sweet.
That's awesome!
Nice.
Did you guys see Matt this weekend, too? Yes! Yes! Hey, good morning,
explain
everybody.
What Critical Role is
my
to
gosh.
those who don't know.
For those of you who don't know, Critical Role is a Thursday night, every Thursday night on Geek and Sundry, Twitch, Geek and Sundry, is that what it's called? Yes.
Yes.
Matt Mercer, who is an amazing genius of a voice actor, gets a whole bunch of nerdy voice actors together, and they live stream D&D, which is really fun. So if you want to hear some amazing voice actors world build, basically, and create something along the lines of the Lord of the Rings, check it out on Thursday nights. It's Travis Willingham, Laura Bailey, Taliesin Jaffe, Marisha Ray, Sam Riegel, Liam O'Brien, and Ashley Johnson from Blind Spot. So check it out. It's great, great fun. So it being Sunday morning, why don't we just do a Q&A, guys? I think that's what it's called, is the Q&A. So what do you want to talk about?
We have a microphone
We've
right
got a mic right there.
Come
Come on up and ask questions, whatever you would like. We'll talk about anything. It doesn't have to be limited to what we do. We can talk about Lost. I still love talking about Lost. I mean, that ending, right?
I am lost. I have no idea where I am.
Good. No,
Hi.
Hi. So, in the episode in Steven Universe when you were at the hospital,
yes.
Would you yourself have let Connie use the sword to fight off the monsters?
Yes. Yes, I would have, most definitely. There's an episode of Steven Universe where I play Dr. Maheshwaran, and there's this monster in the hospital. Somebody came up to me yesterday and said, "Is that a nod to Silent Hill?" Because it was a lot like it felt like Silent Hill a bit. And I have to ask the creators. I'll ask them this week. I'm going to see them this week. So, but yeah, without a doubt, I would have let anybody use the sword to stop them. Yeah.
And by the way, she's the lead singer of the Silent Hill band. For those of you who have played Silent Hill.
Yeah, I've been singing all those songs. Is that why you're here?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, there's some beautiful songs on iTunes. You can check them out. You don't have to just listen to them on YouTube if you want. Akira Yamaoka made these beautiful songs, and I was honored to sing them. So go check them out. They're really weird and funky. Yeah.
It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, Robin. Is it Robin?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So, obviously Steven Universe is a kid's show.
Yeah.
So it's supposed to be all sunshine and rainbows and happy, right?
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, there's things such as war going on. There's characters that go through different parts of their life.
Yeah.
It's been very interesting for me growing up as a young adult. Things aren't all great.
No, they're not.
It turns out, obviously, some of the characters are holding things such as information back from Steven. I just kind of wanted your thoughts on, kind of protecting him as a child versus kind of the harsh reality of things.
Well, I think that's probably a question every parent has to go through, is how much do you tell your children? You want them to be happy and everything else. And I think maybe you can talk to this. I don't have kids, so I'm sort of at a loss in that respect.
You probably were one.
Yes, I was, so it's hard. I mean, I think it has a lot to do with storytelling. Like, I worked on a lot of anime, as you guys know, and Japanese storytelling tends to have a lot more of reality, of the harshness of the world. A lot more tragedy happens. And I think kids learn from a young age that that's a part of life, that's a part of the balance of life. Whereas I feel sometimes with American storytelling, we tend to shelter our kids and distract them from the realities of life and what's going on. And I don't know what kind of effect that has. I personally prefer, Walt Disney was great at, boom, Bambi's mom's gone. It's just like you learn in the first 5 minutes that the world can be a harsh place. But it's also balanced with this unbelievable amount of beauty and love. And I think that's sort of the yin-yang approach to storytelling. It's just like you can't have all this great if it's not balanced by all this dark, So I think with Steven, it's such an amazing show. I think it's sort of groundbreaking in so many ways. So does that kind of answer it?
Yeah, kind of just wanted your thoughts on it.
Yeah.
But I appreciate it. Thank you for working on the show.
My pleasure. I'm so honored. It's one of the few shows I didn't have to audition for. They were such fans of Ghost in the Shell. That's why they hired Kristen and I to play Connie's parents. which is wonderful.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Hello.
Good morning.
I'm not even sure if I need the microphone.
I know.
I kind of have two questions. Are you aware of the fusion theory of that Jasper is the force fusion theory?
I am not aware of this.
Yes.
I'm a doctor, Jim. That's all I know.
Because you were in the episode where it has the force fusions in it, so I know you know what those are. But they just kind of assume that Jasper is a force fusion because of her gemstone.
Okay.
But all the force fusions, they have gem shards, so they're all jagged and they have edges all over them. But I was thinking, is it possible that she's a force fusion because she has a jagged gemstone compared to all the other normal-looking gems that have round ones?
That's an interesting theory. What do you think?
Well, quite frankly, I'm quite partial to the idea that she is a force fusion because of all the other evidence. Cause, they've even said before that she's absolutely not, but I think actions speak louder than words. So it's
agree.
with the whole Garnet having pupils thing and only the fusions having pupils, normally anyways, and Jasper also has them, and just a whole lot of visual evidence that she could potentially be a fusion.
Yeah.
I kind of like to believe that.
I'll believe that with you then. I think that's a great idea. And hopefully they'll, it sounds like they're hinting at it, so
Yeah.
maybe they'll address it with this next season that's coming up.
I sure hope so.
Yeah, me too.
Thank you.
Thank you. A cool idea.
Hello, my name's Jonathan.
Hi, Jonathan. Good morning.
It may be an awkward question because I may not get an answer because you may not have seen it, but I was sort of curious if you've seen Your Lie in April and Hana the Flower we saw that day, or also Chihaya Tour. I really love those shows, and I wondered if either of y'all have seen that.
No, are they animated series?
They're all anime.
Okay.
They're just some of the best feels, make you cry type anime.
Oh.
But they're awesome, and I just wanted to get your opinion on it.
Oh, shoot, I haven't seen those. I'm sorry. The
You
last
should
thing I just saw was One Punch Man, right?
Very, very popular.
One Punch!
And I don't even watch my own shows, so I have no idea.
I know. No, I haven't seen those. I'll definitely check it out. In terms of the feels, I did just, well, it's not anime, but I did just see Me Before You. You want to go have a nice, wonderful cry and go see Daenerys Targaryen in the most endearing role I've ever seen her in. It's beautiful, but I haven't seen those shows.
I love you as Major.
Thank you.
I actually just found out, because it's hard to keep track of all the roles people have done. When I saw Steven Universe, I don't know this person. And my brother's like, she's the Major. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to go to that one. Anyway, thank you.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you. Thanks for coming out.
Hello, Major.
Good morning, soldier. How are you?
I am good.
Good.
So, my question goes Michelle related. How do you feel about Scarlett Johansson being picked to play her, and what advice could you give her for the role?
Okay. Do a good job. That's my advice. Do a good job.
Yeah.
It's an interesting thing. I was actually being contacted by the LA Times to comment on Scarlett Johansson. It was an article on the whitewashing of Hollywood. And it's a tricky question. And there's really no way to answer it without getting myself in a lot of hot water, except I will say that you're asking the whitest, waspiest Irish English girl who also voiced a Japanese character. So for me, I don't have a problem with it. One, because the Major can put her ghost into any shell she wants, so why not Scarlett Johansson? She's gorgeous. She's amazingly, I think as an actor, I love the movie Lucy. I know some people sort of, but I loved it. I saw it on a plane. I think seeing movies on a plane makes everything better. So we saw it on a plane and just loved it. And I thought the way she handled that part near the end, it seemed to me that she could grasp all the technology and be able to sell it, because I think that was the hardest part about Ghost in the Shell for me, was to try and sell something that I did not understand at all. To this day, I still don't understand any of the technology in that show. I tried, but it's beyond my personal grasp. So I would say to her, just sell the technology as much as possible. My hope is that issue goes away because the story is so good and the relationships are so good and her relationship with Bateau is so good, and that outshines the fact that she is not Japanese playing this role. I'm not sure that the movie would have gotten green light without her. So, green lit?
Yeah, green light.
Past tense of green lighted? Green light. So it's hard. It's like, it should have been a Japanese actor, but then it might not have been made in the first place. So how do you say, no, you can't do this, you know? So I'm also playing Dr. Maheshwaran, you know, so it's, you know, it's, as a voiceover actor, we get away with a lot of playing other things than what we look like. And that's, for some reason, is not allowed or is not as acceptable in the on-camera world. So, all right. What do you think?
Mixed feelings.
Okay.
I'm just hoping, you know, it doesn't become a big train wreck.
Me too, and that's what, I mean, I just want to see her just once go back off the building, you know, with that Yoko Kanno. I'm hoping Yoko Kanno does some music. I can't imagine the series without it. So we'll see. I can't wait to see how they handle Tachikoma. I mean, that's going to be pretty amazing, don't you think?
As long as they sound like children, it's all good.
Yes, that'll be really interesting, and that'll be voiceover. It'll be interesting to see who they get for that. It'd be nice if they actually got some of the, like, Sandy Fox and Melissa Vaughn and some of the people back from the show to do the Tachikoma. I think that would be great.
I want to do it.
Yeah.
I can be a child.
Major, we got a problem. Down.
Well, thank you for your time, Major.
Thank you, soldier. Oh, my goodness.
Wow, hi.
Good morning.
Good morning,
What's your name?
Madison.
Hi, Madison. You know, I'm not lying. That's one of my favorite names. If I had a daughter, I was probably going to name her Madison. I'm not lying. I'm not doing that to be nice either.
That's true.
Because of
not
the movie Splash. I love that name from Splash. What's your question?
Why did you join Steven Universe?
Because they hired me. They asked me to come on the show, and I didn't even audition. I didn't even know about the show until I got a call from my agent saying they want you to play this character on a show called Steven Universe. And I said, oh, that's amazing. Did I audition for that? And they said, no, they're big fans of yours, and they want you to come and play this character and be the mom, and she's a doctor, and she's sort of stern and doesn't let her daughter do much and slightly, well, very overprotective. So I said, of course, yes, I'd love to go in and play her.
Thank you.
You're welcome. What do you like to do? Do you like to sing? Do you like to dance? Do you like to...
I like to play on the other time.
Yay, me too. Keep playing. Keep playing. Thanks, Madison.
Okay, so since Stephen has a N64 and a GameCube, I'm guessing he's a Nintendo fan?
Oh, you know what? He probably is. I would think Stephen would like all kinds of different games, wouldn't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I think so. Absolutely. I would think he'd have one of those handheld ones, too, if his, parents, they let him play.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you. Team Stan.
Thanks. I actually have one for each of you.
Okay.
What has been your favorite project that you've worked on, and could you read it, do a line from it?
Oh.
Oh, well.
I'm looking for a bounty hunter. I think for me, there have been two roles that have sort of changed my life. And one was being the voice director of Cowboy Bebop. It's the first show I ever directed, and it was just sort of like they said, well, we have too many shows and too few directors. Would you like to direct a show? And I was terrified. My first reaction was, no, you'll fail. And so I had to do it, right? That's sort of the first instinct is like, you're going to mess it up. It's like, well, then you should try it. So I went in, and they showed me the opening credits, the tank and everything, and I was like, this is amazing, seriously? And they said, yeah. And I fell so in love with Spike Spiegel, with his voice and Spike Spiegel, that I knew that if Julia ever came along, which is Spike Spiegel's girlfriend that he always talked about, that I would play her whether I was right for her or not. So I think that show changed my life, and the Major from Ghost in the Shell, because it's the first time I got to play a leading lady that wasn't trying to, eat Johnny Bosch or, that wasn't this evil, awful person. It was nice to play someone a strong woman that, and unusual in Japanese anime, that had a deep voice. So I think that was a very wonderful moment for me.
For the record, Johnny Bashi is delicious. Choosing roles is really hard. I've gotten to play some really great stuff. I've been very, very lucky. Cowboy Bebop was certainly the most influential role in my career. Playing Spike, it was sort of a gateway for a lot of people, I think, into the world of anime. And Toonami sort of helped to launch that. So Tom, Spike, in the anime world would definitely be the number one roles for me. In the original animation world, probably Wolverine or Starscream, and lately Zeb from Star Wars Rebels. So it's just to do anything in the Star Wars universe. It just makes my little 8-year-old fanboy squee inside, and sometimes outside too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So my question has to do with Steven Universe is an incredible show about taking kind of obscure events and characters and expanding on them dramatically. And your character up to this point, with the exception of the hospital episode, has been really in the shadows. You only know that you don't know a lot about what Connie's doing, and that you don't know a lot about what the Crystal Gems are doing.
Yeah.
How do you see those two relationships expanding as the show moves on?
Ooh. I don't know. I mean, she's got such a set personality in terms of how she relates with Connie, and I think, hopefully, I don't know. I think it will go one of two ways. It'll either she will completely embrace it and say, yes, this is amazing and wonderful, and boom, and go for it. I don't know that that's in her nature. I think she might just be, as long as I don't know about it, I might be fine. I mean, as long as, she might, as a character, need to be kept in the dark for her to function in her world. But I don't know. I'll ask the creators this week. Hopefully I'm going back in, so we'll get to see how she develops.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. It's an incredible show. Thank you for your work.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing very well. How are you doing today?
A little hungover. A lot hungover. Yeah, we went to a blues club. When SpongeBob says we're going to a blues club, you go to a blues club with SpongeBob and Winnie the Pooh.
And Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, invite me next time.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a two-part question. One, who were your voice acting or inspirations to get into your job when you were growing up? And two, how does it feel to be such an inspiration for people, especially women, with the great development of your roles and how impactful you've been in some of the most classic cartoons and animes, and even Silent Hill?
Wow. I feel really lucky and really grateful to be able to do what I do. It's like the greatest job in the world. I mean, and I get to do it so many different ways between the directing, the acting, and the singing. They all enhance each other, and, you do something. I started this 20 years ago, and I didn't know. You go into a dark room with padded walls, which means you're semi-crazy in the first place. At least you feel that way, and you talk to a TV, or you talk, and you create all these crazy characters and wonderful characters, and then you go home, and it's not really until the cons started becoming more and more and bigger that I've gotten to meet people and to see what kind of impact, because we just go in and do the work and go home and hope that the work is good and hope that somebody appreciates it, and we kind of do it for ourselves, knowing that somebody's going to see this someday, but until we come out and meet you guys, we have no idea that it actually has an impact. And so it's kind of overwhelming and really humbling, and making me want to do a better job every single time. What was the first part of it?
Who were your inspirations for getting into what you've done?
Mel Blanc. I loved Mel Blanc. I was such a huge Bugs Bunny fan. I think I learned sarcasm, classical music, comedic timing, how to use an anvil, from Bugs, I mean.
Handy at home.
It is. It's very handy at home. Yeah, I think Mel Blanc was an absolute genius. And there was like one woman on that entire series, and apparently he wasn't too happy about giving her credit, which is a shame, but things have changed now. And I've been a huge fan of movies, everything Katharine Hepburn when I was growing up was just, loved her. And but it was really directors and composers. I was Stephen